the completing square because that will be done later on, so we'll just skip this one. But we'll do this bit. Okay, we'll start with algebraic fractions. Okay, example 17, we have to simplify algebraic fractions, and that could be done easily by cancelling the 18 with the 3, which is 6. 2 squared, like that. And then q to the power 6, and that you know you have to use the index law. The 2 minus 6, 6 subtract by 2 is 4. So the final answer will be 6q to the power 4. Yep. Good. Alright, pretty easy. And then there's other ones you have to simplify, and to do that you have to factorize first. So factorize both the numerator and the denominator, and because there are two terms, take out any common factor. And the common factor will be 2. So write 2a bracket 3a minus 4b. And then factorize the denominator, which is 3b, 3a minus 4b. And then you will notice that two brackets are identical. So if they are identical, they can be cancelled. So your final answer will be 2a over 3b. Okay, very similar for the next two examples. Have a try. Okay, try C. You have to factorize a quadratic. Okay, have a try. Okay, how do I factorize? You find two numbers which multiply to get 2, add to get negative 3. So that will be x minus 1, x minus 2, like that. And the bottom will be x minus 1, difference of 2 squares. And if you look at this, the only thing that gets cancelled is the x minus 1. The other two doesn't get cancelled, so you leave it as it is, x minus 2, x plus 1. Ruby, do work quietly. Thank you. All right, next question. Next question, a little bit harder. Now, how do I factorize the numerator? What would that do? What would it be if you factorize? What would that be? Difference of 2 squared. Very good. So you write something like something with the minus, the plus, right? So the a is this bit, a plus b minus c. And the other one, you go a plus b again, but plus c. Yep. So that's a difference of 2 squares. Let me write this down in red so you remember. Difference of 2 squares. And then at the bottom, there's a common factor of 3. So take the 3 out. And then you notice something that are the same that can be cancelled. So let's cancel them. So these two are the same. It gets cancelled. So your final answer will be a plus b plus c over 3. All right, question. So they are pretty easy. To simplify algebraic fractions, all you have to do is to factorize and cancel any common factors. The next section we're going to do is multiplying, dividing, and adding and subtracting. And that's it, right? Okay, that's what we're going to do. So let's move on to the next page. We're on page 12 now. All right, timesing, same thing. We have to factorize before we times, so we can cancel things. So let's factorize the top. The top is 3 bracket x plus 2. The bottom is a trinomial, so find numbers which multiply to get negative 8 plus add to get 2. So what do we do? That will be x plus 4, x minus 2, isn't it? Right? So you factorize everything. Once we factorize everything, we can cancel. And remember, anything on the top can be cancelled with any factors at the bottom. So x plus 2 cancel with this x plus 2. And the x minus 2 also gets cancelled. So what do you have left? You have x plus 4 and a 3 on the top. So you write down 3 over x plus 4 is your answer. All right, question. Pretty straightforward. How about the next one? What if it's divide, same thing, but before you divide, maybe it's better to change to times and write times by the reciprocal. Okay, so change divide to times and flip the second fraction. And once you do that, you need to factorize. And like before, the top is a difference of 2 squares. The bottom bit stay the same. So you can cancel the x minus 3 with the x minus 3. And the 2 and 6 also gets cancelled because 2 going to 6 3 times. So you're left with a plus 3 over 3. And you can't cancel. That 3 can't cancel with that 3 because it's a plus in between. Right? You can't cancel. But if the question was 3, a plus 1, then you can cancel. So if it was like this, you can cancel if it's times. Right? But you can't cancel these two. Be careful. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next question. So we've done dividing and timesing. Next, we're going to do adding and subtracting. Now, adding and subtracting are a bit harder because you have to make them the same denominator. So let's do this. So times by 5. So to make it the same denominator is not hard. You just times the other fraction by 5, the first fraction by 7. If you do that, that will be 21 over 6 over 35 plus 10x over 35. They have the same denominator. So, and then you add the numerator. And in this case, they are like terms, so it becomes 31x over 35. Like that. Right? Question. Let's try another one. What if it's more complicated? Same thing, you times by 2, times by 2, times by 3, times by 3. Let's work out 3 bracket x plus 3. Oops. Over plus 2x minus 5 over the same denominator of 6. Okay, good. So what do? We're going to expand this. So we'll go 3x. So 3 times x is 3x plus 9 plus 2x minus 10 over 6. And you have to collect like terms, which is equal to 5x minus 1 over 6 is your final answer. Alright, done. Alright, how about the next one? Next one's the same thing. You make them the same denominator. But except this time you have to multiply by the whole denominator. So you go times by x plus 4, x plus 4. Right? And then the other one, x minus 7. And then x minus 7. Right, so let's write them as a common denominator. So the common denominator will be x minus 7, x plus 4. Like that. And the top bit, it becomes 3 bracket x minus 7, negative 2 x plus 4. Now, what do we do after that? We have to expand these brackets, which you will get 3x minus 21. The second bracket, be careful, negative 2 times 6 is negative 2x, but the next one will be negative 8 because the negative follows the 2. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Over the same denominator, notice that I do not expand the denominator. I keep it in factorized form, but the numerator needs to be expanded because then you have to collect like terms. So now you can collect like terms, 3x minus 2x. That will get you x. So it will be x, and then negative 21 minus 8 is negative 29 over this denominator. All right, question. All right, how about the next one? Or the next one, you actually don't have to multiply everything. What you need to do is to factorize this first. So if you factorize, you get 5 over a minus 4 a bracket a minus 1, right? There's a common factor of a. And because they both have a, the only thing missing is a minus 1. You only have to give the first fraction a minus 1. But the second fraction, no change, because once the first fraction has the extra a minus 1 as a factor in the denominator, they now have the same denominator. See, it's different from the first case where you have to multiply by the whole thing. This one, once you factorize, they both have a. So I do not need to times everything by the denominator. I just have to give whatever that's missing. That's the missing bit. Yep. Okay, so once they have the same denominator, we can write it like a bracket a minus 1, right, 5 bracket a minus 1 minus 4. So make it as a common denominator. Then you have to expand the numerator. 5a minus 5 minus 4. And then you end up getting 5a minus 9 over a minus 1. Okay? Any question? Yep. So make sure you factorize the denominator. And we'll do more example of this on the next question. You can't cancel anymore. That's it. You leave it like this. Alright, let's do another one. Alright, let's go to next page. Okay. Next one, again, you need to factorize. Factorize this, so you get 3 PSF, multiply to get negative 2, add to get negative 1. That will be x minus 2, x plus 1. And the second one, you go x plus 3, x minus 2. Notice that they both have got x minus 2. So you just have to give whatever that's missing. So comparing the first with the second one, the thing that are missing is the x plus 3. So you give x plus 3 to the first fraction. And you compare the other fraction with you compare the denominator of the first fraction with the second. In this case, x plus 1 is missing. So you give x plus 1 to the second fraction. Now can you see they have the same denominator? So once you got the same denominator, you write it as a common denominator. X minus 2, x plus 1, x plus 3. And the top bit, you write it again. And you're going to do expand and simplify. Okay, have a try. Simplifying this. X plus 3, no, you can't cancel. See, there's a minus in between, so you can't cancel these two. You can only cancel when there's only times in between. So now you have to expand this, okay? So you get 3x plus 9 minus 2x minus 2 over this. Like that. And you collect like terms, which you will get x plus 7. Alright, that's done. I'll just make it slightly bigger, like this. Yeah. Let's try F. So you have to factorize all three. Maybe that went over. So let's drop this off and write x plus 1. Okay, right. So let's factorize the last one. So you factorize. So you get 3 over x minus 2x plus 1. And then minus 2 over x plus 3 over x minus 2. Minus 4 over x minus 2, x plus 3, x plus 1. Alright, so you compare the three fractions. So the first one has got x minus x plus 3 missing, so you compensate by x plus 3. And the second one has got x plus 1 missing, and the last one has got everything, right? So once you've done that, you can write them as a common denominator. Like that. And then you will get 3x plus 3 minus 2x plus 1 minus 4. And then you have to expand and collect like terms. Like that. So we get 3x plus 9 minus 2x minus 2 minus 4. All over x minus 2, x plus 1, x plus 3. Like that. Then you collect like terms, so you get x plus 3. You get x plus 3? Oh, x plus 3, yeah. So it looks like you can cancel, which is unusual, but alright. So if they're the same, means you can cancel. So you end up getting, well, but it's the whole thing, right? So you can cancel. You can't cancel individual, but you can cancel all in one group. Yeah? Like that. So they're the same, get 1. So your final answer will be 1 over x minus 2, x plus 1. Like that. Yeah. Alright, any question? Yeah? Alright, all done? Okay, got 2 more to go. Jeremy, stop talking. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Further questions, some harder ones. Okay, so this one you factorize like before. Take the 2 out. But then there's a problem. They don't look the same, isn't it? So if they don't look the same, you can, but they look similar. They both have 4 and x. So what you need to do is to factorize out the negative. So if I factorize out the negative, the 4 become negative 4 plus x. So by taking out the extra negative. So what difference does it make? If you write it in a different order, it actually becomes x minus 4 over x minus 4. Like that. So you cancel. So you end up getting negative 2. Okay. So that's what you do if they are slightly different. So you can take out extra negative out from the, yeah. Alright, any questions? How about the next one? Again, the denominator looks very similar, but they look slightly different. Again, that could be solved by taking out an extra factor of negative. So write negative 3 plus a. So take out negative first. And once you take out the negative and the positive interact become minus. So the answer will be 6 over, and write them in different order, a minus 3. So now clearly they now have the same denominator. So you do 2 minus 6 over a minus 3. So the answer is negative 3 over a minus 3. Right, any questions? Negative 4, sorry. Negative 4. Okay, good. Alright, and then we've got C to do. C, okay. Oh, sure. All right, good. Let's move on or finish. All right, let's move on. Next question. What if you have fraction in the numerator? How do you simplify that? So to simplify that, all you have to do is to times top and bottom by the denominator. So times by x, times by x. So how does that work? You have to expand the bracket. X times 1, x times 1 over x. So you go 1 times x minus 1 over x times x over 1 times x plus 1 over x times x. So you times top and bottom by x. And you have to expand the bracket. Like that. And why do I times by x? Because that x cancel with the x in the denominator. So you end up getting x minus 1 over x plus 1. That will be your final answer. Any questions? Now we still want to do one more thing, substitution. Then we can, we'll be done. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's continue. Thank you. All right. So we'll do 3 exercises today. So the last exercise we'll do is the substitution, which is very simple. Okay. I think I don't even need to teach you to do that, but we'll just go through it anyway. Substitution. So all you have to do is just substitute. So you go 2 times 8, 8 plus negative 4. You can do it without a calculator. 16 times 4 is 64. Or you can use the calculator. Watching, listening. Next one, x squared plus y squared. You go 5 squared plus negative 3 squared, right? Make sure you put a bracket around squares. So you get 25 plus positive 9, so it's, what would that be? 34, right? But be careful, if you don't put bracket, this is what will happen. You go 5 square, and then plus negative 3 square, right? Gives you a different answer because it ends up subtracting. You need to put a bracket. Then it will give you the right answer of 34, okay? All right, question. And one more question. That's the formula for the perimeter of the rectangle. Find the perimeter if L is 1.3, B is 3.2. And then if you use your calculator, you get, that's 4.5, you get 9, right? You get 9. Any question? Like before, let me remind you that we need to fill out this page like every time. So we're up to, we're going to skip completing square because that will be done in the chapter 3. So we'll just skip that. But you need to write down the date for today, which is 19th of February 19. So 3 exercises. So maybe do about 7 questions in here. And maybe just do maybe 5 questions from substitution. I think substitution is pretty easy. But need to do a bit more from 16 and 17. Okay? And there's certs. I will give you the cert stuff tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. We'll just go back to here. If you still have questions, just let me know. I explained to you. Otherwise, you can start the exercise. All right. Start now. Thank you. All right. Stop the video. Okay. Done. Okay.